What's going on, guys? Crucible here, and today we're going to go over the remainder of the official reveals as of right now. There's still probably a lot that they're going to drop. I can surmise, or at least predict, that because of the leaks and because of stuff, at the very earliest, we could see by the end of this week the full list drop. At the very earliest. I think at the latest, though, I think we're going to see it next week. And next week is probably more likely to be seen, the whole list. Because next Friday will make 3 weeks until the official release of the set. And normally they drop the full list usually about 2 weeks before pre-release, normally. So, I think that we are very likely to see the full list sooner rather than later, which means testing season. So let's get into the drops. Let's get into the official reveals and kind of go from there. So we got this Bardock. I've talked about this before on a short. You guys might have seen the short. This card's crazy. 2 cost, 15k power, 10k combo. Activate main, pay 2 energy. Place this card in the drop. If your leader's Bardock, you draw 2 cards. Then during this turn, the next time you use a card with a cost of 4 or less and Bardock's crew and its special traits, you don't have to pay the cost. So what's really cool about this is that you can play this out as early as turn 1 with marker. This survives a turn. A 15k power card is not easy to remove turn 1. Maybe turn 2, there's like in certain decks can get around it, like Fua and stuff exists in red. So this can get minused and removed that way. Black can play Pan and with marker bounce this back to hand. There's some ways of getting around this card on turn 2. That being said, though, it is not as easy to remove as it looks. So, that's kind of interesting. But then what you would do is that on turn 2, you would then swing with leader. You would swing with this guy. You'd pay 2 energy, since you would be at 2 energy, to place this guy in the drop. Draw 2 cards. So you've already plus 3'd for the turn, right? Then you can use the new legend extra card to cheat out a 5-cost Bardock. On turn 2, so you can play the double striker, and you could play the double striker, and you could play the crit body. The crit body would probably be more beneficial than the double striker, but I mean that's still like crazy that you can get a 5 cost on turn 2, and there's not really much your opponent can do about a 5 cost on turn 2. It's really kind of hard to get around it. So this is a great card. It also something to consider as well is the fact that it's 10k combo. So put 4 of this card into your Bardock deck, and then it becomes a target for when you scry, and you can combo with this. So more cards like this, please, Bandai. Bardock needs more cards like this. This is great. Next, we have Bulma. 2 costs, 5k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader has adventure in its special traits, you can take a life, and then look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with adventure in its special traits, and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of their owner's deck in a random order. This is a great card, mainly due to the fact that it self-awakens. So Bulma is a deck that really wants to self-awaken, and it's another body that allows you to search and get cards, keep cards in your hand. So the only card that allowed for drawing, basically, in Bulma was the Baba card, which replaces itself, and the Roshi, which replaces itself. So having more cards like this that allow you to replace the cards that is played is pretty good. And the majority of your deck outside of Chi-Chi's are going to be adventure, so you will find everything that you need here. And what's interesting too is that this finds super combos. If there's a, I don't think actually Grandpa Gohan's not adventure, so you wouldn't be able to get that. Is the new super combo? The new super combo has got to be adventure, right? Let's take a look at that. No, the new Bulma super combo is only an Earthling, so you cannot. There's no super combos that can be searched off that, which is a little unfortunate. But I at least wanted to confirm that for the video. So. But still, a really solid card. No issues with this whatsoever. Bulma definitely needs a little bit more draw power, so this is perfectly fine. And speaking of draw power, we also have a Yamcha here. 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. If your leader has adventure in its special traits and you use a card from your drop in a combo during this turn, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2 and then draw a card on play. So basically a cantrip body. What's cool about this card is that Bulma, for the most part, once you hit 4 energy with Bulma, there's really no reason to charge because you need to prioritize hand size more than you need to, especially if you have Yamchas and stuff on the board, the 4-cost Yamcha. There's no reason to charge past 4 unless you are looking to extend your plays. So having a card like this allows you to extend your plays. You can basically play out a Yamcha, play out one of your bigger bodies, and then if you're at 5 energy, play this out for 1, replace it in hand. Like, it's another body that they have to worry about. Like, like this card's great. Bulma's looking really good with that support. All right, let's get into some of the generic red stuff for the Daima decks. We have a 1-cost 5k power, 5k combo Pansy. Look at 3 costs from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with DA in its card name and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the owner's deck in a random order. I have been saying that the Daima decks have the tools in their arsenal to be probably the best red decks in the set. It is very likely that while Cell will still be extremely strong, because Cell is also getting support in here, spoiler alert, but with all the evolved shenanigans, with all the extra Daima support that's going to be coming this set, I think all the Daima decks have the potential to be the part of that group of red leaders that just excels beyond all the others. This is basically the Shin Searcher in U7, but it's for Daima. So this searches super combos. This searches all of your evolved pieces. This searches everything that you need to be able to play your deck. This card is great for all the Daima decks. This is great. This is an immediate include. Then we have, and then in terms of that, this one, maybe not so much. At 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo, Bulma. Activate main once per turn if you have a card with DA in its card name and evolve in your battle area during this turn. The next time you use an extra, reduce the cost by 1. There's other cards like this in the game, but this is heavily restrictive to having your evolve cards on the board. And I think that's going to be a little bit harder to proc this than not. Not to mention it's a 1 cost, that's 5k power. In a mirror, this is easily removed. In blue, this is easily removed. There's so much that can get around this card. I don't know if this is necessarily playable. I could see some utility with it, but I personally don't think, I would not run this. Then we got a 2 cost, 25k power, 10k combo, Vegito Daima. Permanent skill, this card cannot attack your opponent's leader. So this is an interesting card. Because it's basically the 2-cost Trunks in green from set 1, just not being able to attack the leader. And while that's not that big of a deal, it's a 2-cost body that can just swing into something on your opponent's board for cheap, which Daima has always been known to be cheap. You can cheat this off the Shin card from last set, and that can actually go a long way to removing something on your opponent's board. You can also, this is an evolve target for the Vegeta evolve cards, so I think that's really cool. I don't hate this card. This is better than the set 1 Trunks in every way, just because this is a utility piece for other cards in the deck. So I don't mind this card at all. Now we'll get to blue. We got Great I'm in Time, 7 cost extra for Gohan. Activate main, place the top 3 cards of your deck into your drop, draw a card, then play up to 2 battle cards with different card names, saying in their special traits, and a total cost of 6 or less from your drop. So we've seen some cards for the Gohan deck that can be used. We saw a new 2-cost Gotenks and we saw a 4-cost Gohan. So right there are 2 different named cards with Saiyan in their traits that add up to a total cost of 6 or less from your drop. Not that bad, but you're paying 5 energy with the Gohan leader skill, which kind of sucks. This is a late game card. It's not a bad card by any means. I just feel like Gohan needs something else. He needs like a body or something on the board where as long as he stays on the board, the cost of extra cards go down, like is lowered by 1 or something like that. Like he needs something on the board that allows you to extend that cost minusing for extras. Because this is too late, I think. I'm not sure if this is good right now. Someone that plays the Gohan deck better, like more than me, can probably let me know if this is better or not. You can let me know in the comment section down below. But just off face value, like it's a good card for Gohan. It's something he needs, but he needs more than this. Next, we have Trunks Future, 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, play up to 1 battle card with a cost of 1 or less from your hand. Then, when attacking, if your leader is Trunks Future, choose all battle cards in your opponent's battle area and reduce their cost by 2 for the turn. Then, choose up to about 1 battle card with a cost of 1 or less in the battle area, return it to the hand. So, I first saw this and I was like, okay, okay, this is a little middling. But then I really started to kind of think about it. And the reality is that you only need this to proc your leader ability. You don't necessarily need this to like remove problem stuff on board. So let's kind of break this down. So turn 3, you play this out, right? You play a 1 cost. There's a number of 1 costs that you can play off this. You can play a cantrip. You can play the 1 cost Mai, which lowers the cost of a card by 1. That would really help his when attacking ability. You can play the Harumaki, which boosts up the leader by 10,000. That could really can benefit Trunks as well. Like, this is a relatively good card just for the on-play ability, which I think is awesome. When attacking ability is a bit situational. At the greatest, let's do some math. So if you play the Mai off this, a 6 cost goes down to a 5 cost, and then you swing with this to bring it down to a 4 cost. You maybe bottom deck a 1 cost that's on the board. And then, yeah, you're not really doing anything else. So this only works really well against like 5 costs. Because the 5, like doing this on a 5 cost, you play this, you play the Mai, the 5 cost goes down to 4. Oh, this minus is 2 actually. Hold on. Yeah, so a 6 cost goes down to 5. You do this to go to 3, and then you use the leader ability to... Yeah, so no, yeah, this affects 6 costs. So this could be beneficial in the later game if you need to remove something problematic. I'm, like, thinking of a scenario where, like, the secret rare Frieza from set 2 is on board, and you need to remove that. This allows you to swing because it's not a 5 cost or higher, and then you can just remove that off the board. I could see some utility with this. I think Trunks needs a little bit more than what this card offers, but this isn't a bad card by any means. Then we got Vegito. 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then place the top 3 cards of your deck into their owner's drop. And then you pay an energy, play this card in a battle area, place this in a battle area, and then if your leader is Vegito, you play a Vegito with a 4 cost from your drop. Basically, you play this out on turn 4. On turn 4, you play this out. You take a life to maybe awaken, place 3 into the drop, which should give you the 10 cards you need before you awaken. And then you have a 25k body, a 40k body with the lead, and then you pay the last energy to get the 4 cost Vegito out, which stops 3 costs or less from swinging, and he's a 30k body. So very good play line for Vegito. It adds on to the aggression that he's kind of adopted since the Pilaf ban. So this is a good card. He needed that. All right, Bulma SH, 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. Pay an energy. Switch this energy card in a battle area to rest mode. If you have 6 or more energy, play up to 1 skillless battle card with a cost of 3 and superhero and its special name and card from your hand. We've seen cards like this before. There's a Bulma in blue that does this. Or is it a Videl? It might be a Videl. But basically playing out skillless 3 costs. The skillless 3 costs are a superhero Goten and a superhero Trunks. This card's okay. In the late game, I don't think this is going to be very beneficial, just because you're going minus in hand just to get this ability off once. And it's just for a 25k vanilla body. Like, it's not great in the late game, in my opinion. You probably want to prioritize other things, so we'll see. Then we got a Gotenks superhero, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. When he's KO'd, you place 1 card from your energy into the owner's drop, and then add the top card of your deck to your energy. I'm curious to see, because you can utilize the orange Piccolo ability to like redirect the attack to this guy. I guess if you're running the defensive extra is what you probably use this for. You redirect it to this guy. This guy dies. You get a energy stood back up basically in your energy. It's 1 energy open, so now you can defend for 30,000 power on your opponent's turn. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Piccolo's Gigantification, 1 cost. Activate main. Choose up to 1 Piccolo superhero with a cost of 5 in your battle area, and it can't be removed from the battle area by the skills of your opponent. Battle cards until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is a bit situational. I don't like this card because you need to have the SR basically in your battle area. Like, if this only works on 1 card that we know of so far. It's 1 card. So in my eyes, this is already kind of a dead card in hand. By the way, sell Max in the game. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. This is a very situational card. I don't like situational cards. So I think this is kind of dead on arrival. But maybe you incorporate 1 or 2 in the deck. Who knows? Pan Superhero, 1 cost, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, look at the top 3 cards. Look at 3 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal 1 superhero card and add it to your hand. Place the rest in the bottom of the order. Once again, it's a searcher that searches top 3, searches anything in the game. We're gonna go and double check the superheroes just once again. Okay, so this does search for the super combo. So yeah, this is an immediate include in the deck. A top 3 searcher that can find you a super combo. Yes, that is like 100% you include that in the deck. That is fantastic. That's awesome. So yeah, that is definitely something that you run. I'm glad that we're going into this meta with the searchers because we needed more searchers like this. Top 5 for very specific cards always sucked. Having just a generic searcher to find to potentially find stuff you need better and more efficiently is the way that I want to see these searchers in the future. All right, we got an Android 16, 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo. On play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then if your leader is Android 18, during this turn, the next time you use an extra with a cost of 3 or less in Android and its special traits, you do not have to pay the cost. This is really strong. It allows you to free play out the extra. The field that allows you to swing into active mode battle cards. So this is great. On turn 3, you can just play this out to play the field. And then on turn 4, and if you don't see it by turn 3, on turn 4, you can use the promo to play this guy out, to play the field out. And then you have really strong bodies to go into your opponent's board to maybe whittle them down, maybe get that promo Android 17 to swing for 40 at leader. Like, this is a really good card. This is something that Android 18 kind of needed, like, a set ago. Like, if they weren't going to release it with her deck, they needed to release it with, like, the following set after. Like, the fact that we went 2 sets without this, like, is insane. So, glad that we're finally getting it. Getting it is better than not getting it. So, Android 18 is going to be pretty good. And then speaking of androids, we got a 5 cost sell, 30k power, 5k combo. Permanent on your turn. If your leader has only android and its special traits, this card is in a battle area, gets 10,000 power. And then on play, choose up to 1 battle card with 15,000 power or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. So this is a 5 cost target that you can play off of the 4 cost sell, which is really strong. If you really sit and think about it, a majority of cards that are played in a lot of decks are about 25,000 power, right? So you play the 4 cost, you minus 25k power body on turn 4 down to 15. You then do your loop shenanigans and then play this guy out to KO that card that you just minus down. You can just you can solely focus on just swinging at face when instead of swinging at that card, because there's no point in swinging at that card when this card can just KO it. And then this guy swings for 40k. So now we're gonna have to deal with 2 40k swings in the Cell deck, which is kind of insane. So Cell is still going to be very relevant going into next set. And I personally love the Cell deck. I know a lot of people are complaining about Cell right now. I personally love the Cell deck. Red was not in a great spot in set 6. So getting the Cell stuff in the manga booster set and like having him stay relevant, I think is a good thing, all things considered. But now that we're gonna have the evolve stuff, so like the evolve stuff is really gonna like take shape of the meta, I think, in my opinion. Top Coup can come back in some fashion. So like red's on the come up. The red's coming back. Then we're going back to Daima, Neva DA, 1 cost, 10k power, 10k combo. Activate main once per turn. If your leader is awakened, you can choose 1 battle card with DA in its name, and it gets 5,000 power for the turn. It's 10k combo power. It's 10k power itself. It's a little harder to remove in the mirror. And then, he just permanently boosts 5k power the longer this guy's on board. I see more use out of this guy than the 1 cost Bulma that we saw, so I'm not going to rag on this card too much. It's fine. Then we got the powered up Majin Buu Daima. 4 cost, 25k power, 10k combo. Permanent on your turn. If you have a card with Daima in its card name and evolve in a battle area, you reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2. So it's a 2 cost, 25k body. Really good stat line. Then on play, you choose up to one battle card in your opponent's battle area, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn. This card will be good in the later game when you have Evolve set up. Being able to spam the board out. Like this card going down to 2 in hand, you can Evolve turn 2 at the earliest, maybe turn 3. Yeah, it's more so turn 3 than turn 2. But turn 3, you awaken with Glorio. You can do your Evolve shenanigans, potentially only paying 1 energy out, and then you can cheat this guy out immediately after. Yeah, there's some play lines with this. This card isn't bad. Then we got Wish For Shenron, 5 cost, 30k power, 10k combo. On play, place the top 2 cards in your deck into your drop. Then activate main, place 7 cards with Shadow Dragons in your traits from the drop into the bottom of your deck in a random order. Then return this card to your hand. If your leader is Shadow Dragons, you play an Omega Shenron. So the Omega Shenron this is a toolkit piece for the Omega Shenron. Basically, what this will allow you to do is on turn 5, you play this guy out. You mill out 2 cards. Hopefully, you already got 7 Shadow Dragons in your drop. Then you can swing for 30, activate main, bring this guy back to your hand, play out the 5 cost Wish Shenron, which let me pull that up real quick. Here he is. I just wanted to look at his skills again. So then you play this guy out, right? And then you've got a 35k swinger that you can swing, and then you're looking at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal any number of extras from the drop and add them to your hand, then place the rest into the drop. So on the off chance that you don't find an extra, you can put 7 cards back into your drop that have everything in your drop. And then hopefully most of those cards are Shadow Dragons, so like his permanent skill goes into effect. And then you still have your leader swing, and then you still are able to ditch cards in your drop back into your deck to free play extras, and then you just pop off. You just pop off. Shenron's looking really crazy right now. So this is a great tech piece for the Shenron deck. Speaking of extras, we got this one, 3 cost, Pot of Greed, Dragon Thunder. Draw 2 cards, then your opponent can't activate blocker for the turn. This gets around. This is going to get around a lot of the blocker cards in the Orange Piccolo deck. It's going to get around the Majin Buu blockers. It's going to get around a lot of stuff. So this is a great card for blue. Then we have Whirlwind Spin, 2 cost, permanent skill. When you would pay the cost of this card in your hand, you may discard 1 card with Shadow Dragon and its special traits other than this card from your hand instead. A free play on this is pretty crazy. Then activate battle. Your card that is in a battle gets 20,000 power for the battle. Then choose all battle cards with a cost of 1 or less in your opponent's battle area and place them at the bottom of the deck. I've seen a lot of people talking smack about this card, or I've heard a lot of talk about this card. This card's actually great. Like the fact that instead of paying instead of ditching 2 cards in your drop to activate this card, you can just ditch 1 from your hand, which facilitates your drop. It helps to facilitate your drop, which is what Shenron wants to do. And then you get a free 20k swing on battle. Like that's crazy, right? Like you're bottom decking 1 cost, like big whoop. Like, but you're getting 20,000 power. That's 2 combo cards. Like this card's crazy. I don't know why people hate this card. This card is better than this card I think is better than the Oceanus Shenron combo pieces. Then we got the minus energy Powerball, 7 cost. Activate main, choose up to 1 Omega Shenron in your battle area and switch it to active mode. Then, if you have 7 or more cards in your drop, this card chosen by this skill gains double strike and 20,000 power for the turn. So basically, you do all of your Shenron pieces. You play the 5 cost. You swing 30. You place it in the drop to play out the SR. Then you swing with the SR, you get more Shadow Dragons put into the drop, and then you can activate this for free by putting 7 back into your deck, and then restanding the SR at 35,000, which makes him a 55,000 double striker, and then you get to swing for double strike 55,000. Again, Shenron's looking really strong. And I know we've been talking a lot about these cards, but we're going to finish up here now. We got 3 more cards to go through. We got Chilai BR, 2 costs, 5k power, 10k combo. On play, if your leader is Broly BR and you have 4 energy, play up to 1 Broly BR with a cost of 4 from your hand. This card is what Broly desperately needed. I've been saying since Broly came out is that he had all those extra cards that came out with him, but you don't really have room to play any of those extra cards whatsoever because you need to stay at 4 energy to get his leader effect ability off. So by having this card in his deck, you now have 2 open energy, which will allow you to You have 2 open energy, which will allow you to facilitate extra combos and stuff, right? So, like, for example, let me pull this up real quick. This card in particular. This card is a card that released within set 6 with Broly. And this is a crazy card for what the Broly deck is doing. But because you were only limited ever to having 4 energy open and you weren't always able to keep energy open, this card didn't really get to see a whole lot of play. Now, with this Chi-Lai card, you're able to play out a 4-cost Broly that will allow you to... you'll be able to play out a 4-cost Broly, which will allow you to... it'll turn itself into a 7-cost. You'll be able to do your evolving shenanigans with the Broly leader. And now you have 2 open energy to do stuff like this. You can play out the SR Broly, and now he can swing for 75,000, putting a lot of pressure on. And then as another option, like 1 turn later, if you do the exact same setup with like the double swinger Broly that we're getting to, and you keep that 8-cost on the board, you can evolve the 8-cost into the double striker, swing twice to get with the new 4-cost that swings twice, to try and get your opponent down to 2 if you haven't done so already. And then you have 2 open energy to put onto your double strike Broly, and now that's 50k on top of the 55k, so you're already at 105,000 power double strike, not taking into account all the combo power in your hand. Like, Broly's gonna be scary next set. Like, he was already a little scary, but like there were tech options that you could do to kind of get... You can kind of tech your deck to like handle Broly in set 6. Now he's kind of a menace. So Broly is going to be crazy again, all because of this card. I've been saying that Broly needed a card like this for a while. Glad that he's finally getting it, but yeah, at what cost? At what cost? Next we have Gamma 1 Superhero, 2 cost, 15k power, 10k combo. On play, discard 1 card with Superhero and its card name in it from your hand. And then if your leader has Superhero and its card name, draw 2 cards. So basically you play this on turn 2, you ditch a 3-cost Superhero into your drop, draw 2 cards. He's basically the 2-cost 17 in the Cell deck. And then turn 3, you can play out... We already saw this guy. This is the SR Gamma 2 that ramps you, basically. So then turn 3, you play this out. At the end of your turn, this gets KO'd, and then you ramp. Easy. Easy. So, Piccolo has a very straightforward, like, setup. So, let me know what you guys think of all the support that we've talked about today. We're finally caught up on all of the leaks and stuff. I'm very happy that, you know, we're getting closer and closer to testing season, and we're getting closer and closer to the set of set 7. I'm excited for set 7. Let me know what you guys think. But with that said, thank you guys so much for the love and support. As always, like and subscribe if you want to see more Fusion World video. Consider becoming a member. For $1 a month, you will be given access to our videos early, up to at least 12 hours early. Like, you might have several days early in advance as well. You also get extra entries for giveaways, for code card packs, and potentially physical giveaways down the line during the live streams. So we're working on other stuff as well. So eventually those member perks will start building up over time. But to start with, those are your early ones for only $1 a month. So if you want to support the channel even further, please consider doing that. It would go a long way. But thank you guys for the love and support as always. Regardless, I will see you guys all in the next Fusion World video. Peace.